AI has different layers of memory, and what gets saved can vary. The four common ways AI tools remember information are chat, projects, custom GPTs, and user memory. Note that most AI tools remember the current conversation, but the other types of memory vary depending on the tool. In the last video, we focused on chat memory, what AI remembers inside a single conversation. But real work often goes beyond one chat. You might have notes, files, drafts, and multiple conversations all tied to the same goal. That's where projects come in. A project gives your work a home. It keeps related chats, files, and instructions together around one topic. Chat memory helps AI remember what you just said. Projects help AI stay grounded in a bigger body of work. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a project step by step. While AI is great for work, let's keep this easy and familiar and say I'm planning a trip. I may have flight ideas, hotel options, a rough itinerary, budget notes, and a packing list. That's more than one quick question. It's one ongoing stream of work. First, I create a new project. In Claude, on the left side, I'll click the project's icon. This is where any project I create can be found. On the top right, I will select New Project and then give it a clear name. For this one, I'll type 2027 Trip to London. I want the project name to reflect one clear effort of work, not something broad like trip. A specific name makes it easier to stay organized and know exactly what belongs there. In the next field, I'll provide a high-level statement about the purpose of this project so Claude has an overarching idea of what I want to accomplish. Then I click Create Project, and now I can see the name of my new project. This is where I'll go anytime I want to work on this trip. In the chat window that appeared, I could start a new chat, but before I do that, I want to add instructions and source files. I'll click the plus icon in Instructions area and give it some expectations like always using the travel profile I'll upload, ways to prioritize, and the way I want it to write its results. I might also add more details specific to this trip, like the destination, number of days, number of travelers, and itinerary preferences. These instructions help shape how the AI supports this trip across the whole project. This is one of the biggest benefits of projects. I can add context once and then use it across multiple chats in the same project. This means I won't have to re-enter the same details over and over, and I don't have to keep everything in a single long thread. Long threads can get harder to manage and may not work as smoothly as keeping related work organized in a project. In the Files area, I can click the plus icon to search for files, or I can click and drag a file. Files could be things like reservations, flight options, hotel preferences, or trip notes. If this were a work project, I might add style guides, standard operating procedures, or project-specific files. For this example, I'm going to click and drag my travel profile to the Files area. It includes my general travel preferences like preferring the window seat on an airplane, food interests, hotel preferences, things to avoid, and walking or transport preferences. I upload this file into each project I create when I start planning a new trip, so Claude has a sense of what I like. I do have a travel profile template on my website if you want to make one for your own travel planning purposes. This gives the AI more context to work from, instead of making me paste the same travel details into the chat over and over. This is a good point to pause and try this yourself. In Claude, create a new project, name it clearly, and add at least one useful file or typed note that will be relevant to your project. Then come back, and we'll continue with the next step, starting individual chats within the project. With all of my reference details loaded in the source area, I can now start a conversation inside the project. For example, build a London itinerary based on the uploaded materials. I can ask it to prioritize groupings and a mix of experiences without being overwhelming. Again, I'm not starting from zero. The project already contains the topic, the files, and the instructions. As my first chat for planning the itinerary, I can review the recommendations and respond to what I like, what I don't like, or specific things I want to include to build an itinerary that is best for me. For example, I can ask to include a trip to Stonehenge and it modifies the itinerary. I can continue to iterate as desired to optimize the trip. When I'm ready to work on another part of the trip, I can click the project name on the top. There I can see the current chat and I can add more sources if needed. I'm going to start another chat in the same project. This time, I'll use a prompt to explore hotel options with key details in mind. Like with the other chat, I will review the results, and I can continue to iterate on hotel options. As a reminder, always check all of your results, ask for sources as appropriate, and never share confidential information in any AI tool. At any time, I can click the project title again to continue to add chats as needed for flights, specific days, packing lists, and more. One quick tip is to keep an eye on the automatic chat names that are generated. As needed, you can rename any of the chats by hovering over the chat name, clicking the three dots, and selecting Rename to name it something easier to recognize later. This is the real value of projects. They help you keep one body of work together so your chats are not scattered and your context is easier to maintain. So if chat memory is about one conversation, projects are about one ongoing stream of work. I personally have planned entire trips this way and discovered some hidden gems. Now it's your turn. Go back to the project you started with your context you added earlier. Open a new chat and keep work toward your goal while using separate chats for different parts of the topic. In the next video, we'll look at user memory in ChatGPT, which is the information ChatGPT may save about you over time. Once you understand the different memory layers, AI becomes much more useful as a thinking partner. Check out the rest of the AI memory series on our channel. I'm Jeanette from Geek Speak Translator. I love to simplify AI so you can move beyond the hype and use it intentionally.